I nearly fell asleep in the middle of this movie, but then it went off the rails. The last 45 minutes of Sinners hit hard, but is it enough to save the film? Sinners is the latest from Ryan Coogler, set in the 1930s Deep South and starring Michael B. Jordan in a dual role as twin brothers trying to open a jukebox joint until they're confronted by something far darker than business problems. Let me be real, the first hour and 15 minutes of this film, it's a bit of a slog. It's a slow burn with a huge cast of side characters, most of whom are introduced through small, unmemorable interactions that, while mildly amusing, don't build a whole lot of tension and forward momentum. I even found myself closing my eyes around the hour and 15-minute mark. I was struggling to stay with it, and apparently this movie was originally 20 minutes longer. I'm thankful that it was trimmed down, but honestly, I think it could have used even more tightening or even an earlier injection of suspense or something narratively to cling to. Now, the opening of this movie shows us a big moment from the climax before flashing back to a day earlier, and that setup definitely intrigued me, but even with that tease, it wasn't enough to make the first two acts feel compelling. But let's talk about that last 45 minutes. That's when Sinners takes a huge, bold swing. Something happens, something I won't spoil, that completely transforms this grounded Southern drama into something much more surreal, much more horrifying, and honestly, unforgettable. From the cinematography, practical effects, the unique psychedelic rock score, and tension between all of the characters, there's not another film quite like this one. It reminded me of Hereditary in the way that it lulls you into thinking it's a heavy character drama and then flips the genre switch near the end. However, with Hereditary, which I thought was much more effective, there was an inciting action of the young girl's head getting hit by a pole, and we get to go on that emotional journey with the family early on in the film. Sinners doesn't have that hard-hitting hook for most of the runtime for me. The horror in Sinners doesn't really feel like horror for most of the movie, which is why it hits so hard when it finally arrives. It's that long wait that's going to make this movie divisive. Do you want to sit through 90 minutes of buildup to get a powerful, freaky payoff? Personally, I feel conflicted. On one hand, the ending is truly excellent. On the other, I wasn't sure where this movie was headed for such a long stretch that I nearly tuned out. That makes it hard to recommend, even if I respect what Coogler is trying to do here. Sinners ultimately lands as a C+ for me, a film with a powerful, genre-bending climax that I genuinely admired, but one that takes far too long to get there. While I'm aware I'm in the minority of critics who didn't fully connect with the journey, and I know I wouldn't rewatch for that reason, I encourage viewers who are intrigued by the premise, especially those who appreciate slow burn, grounded horror, to give it a shot. A lot of people really liked this at the theater that I was at. The final act is bold and memorable, and for some, that payoff will be more than enough. If you're intrigued by period horror or want to see a film with ambition and don't mind having a little bit of patience, you might find something profound waiting for you at the end of Sinners. And that'll do it for my review of Sinners. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. You can also consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more videos like this in your feed. You can also check out my website, EskimoTV.net, for reviews from myself as well as other authors. Thank you all so much for checking this out. Until next time, this is Escamilla from EskimoTV.net.